Kazuma is the young heir of the Kannagi family, the most powerful fire clan. However, despite how much he tried, he could never control his power, resulting in him getting harshly treated by his father, the strongest in the clan. The young members took advantage of his lack of skill to bully him all the time, using fire spells to burn him every day. Despite all that he's been through, he trained day and night to control his fire powers. But as soon as he turned 18, the family decided to test his progress. He had to fight the 12-year-old prodigy Ayano for the position of the next head of the clan. Yet, that wasn't a fight, it was a massacre. With a single fire spell, Ayano burnt Kazuma. After the match, he begged his father for forgiveness, but the old man was too cold. He called him a pathetic, useless piece of trash and kicked him out of the family. Desperate, Kazuma held onto his father's hand, begging for forgiveness once more, but his father slapped him away. Without any other option to survive, Kazuma went to China, promising to train and get back to get revenge. Yet, his sorrow became too great to bear and he ended up as a drunk beggar, until he met Sui Ling, a kind and charming girl who helped him get his life together. They fell in love with each other, and he quit the idea of becoming a mage to live a quiet and peaceful life by her side. His happiness, however, came to an end after 2 years when she was taken away by an organization. He tried to save her, but he had no powers. All he could do was watch her being sacrificed in front of his eyes in a demon summoning ritual. He blamed himself for failing to protect her and decided to find power once again, until he managed to make a contract with the Spirit King of the Wind. Now as the strongest wind mage in the world, Kazuma spent 2 years looking for the one responsible for Tsui's death and killed him. But he knew there were more members of the organization all around the world, and decided to return to Japan and start taking them down. On the same day he returns, some members of the Kannagi family are killed by a wind user, and after getting a report of Kazuma's arrival to the country as a wind mage, the family suspects he came back to get revenge for being kicked out. They send a few members to follow Kazuma and bring him back for interrogation. But Kazuma rejects to go back, claiming to be innocent, and he isn't part of the family anymore. The guys decide to attack him with a fireball, but Kazuma uses his wind magic to make the ball explode in their hands. Another wind spell is casted, making a building steel structure fall on top of them, leading to their deaths. But it wasn't Kazuma who did it. It was another wind mage who sneaked on him and killed the 2 family members. He rushes out of the place, but he ends up meeting his father, telling him to turn himself in. Kazuma gets annoyed because those are the first words his father tells him 4 years after banishing him from the family. But his father belittles him just like he did in the past, calling him a good-for-nothing who's been studying wind magic for a short time. Enraged, Kazuma casts a wind blade, but his father blocks it without moving. He uses more wind blades, but his father's fire blocks it every time. The old man tries to capture him with a single move. He uses several fireballs to engulf Kazuma in flames and capture him, but he manages to dispel it with his wind. The old man decides to use his full power by summoning a stronger fireball. Kazuma tries to retaliate by using the wind to make it explode, but that doesn't surprise his old man, who expresses his disappointment in his son again. Deciding to show his true power, the old man's flames turn blue, revealing his power as the Spirit King of Fire. This forces Kazuma to reveal his trump card, the power of his Spirit King of Wind. Fire magic is the strongest in the world, but slower to activate, and wind magic is the fastest to activate, which enables Kazuma to release a massive spell that knocks his father down. Knowing that his father now poses no threat, Kazuma decides to return to the hotel, where he meets his younger brother, Ren. His brother asks him to go back to the family and clear his name, but Kazuma rejects it, saying that he won't submit himself to the family who treated him like a dog and abandoned him. He even changed his surname. He doesn't intend on taking revenge on the Kannagi. He sends his brother to bed, but while they sleep, a wind mage slices the hotel building in half. Kazuma takes his little brother and jumps out of the room. Sensing the suspect approaching them, he tells Ren to hide while he fights the culprit. Kazuma tries to attack, but he hears Ren's voice shouting for help. There were 2 culprits, one distracting Kazuma while the other captures Ren and takes him away. With their objective accomplished, the culprits vanish away. Kazuma managed to identify the one who attacked him, but he doesn't have a way to locate Ren, so he decides to throw his pride away and ask the Kannagi to help him. He meets the clan leader, explains what happened, and finds out the one who took Ren away belongs to the Fuga clan. They used to be a wind clan that relied on the power of an evil god, but the Kannagi managed to defeat them and sealed the deity away, forcing the Fuga to serve them for 300 years. They took Ren away to sacrifice him and revive the evil god. Kazuma's hands start trembling with anger, remembering the feeling of losing the woman he loved in a ritual. Upon knowing the location, Kazuma and Ayano head out to stop the ritual, but they're confronted by one of the Fuga clan members possessed by evil spirits. Kazuma leaves Ayano behind to deal with the guy, while he rushes ahead to save his brother. The seal has broken already, and the evil god starts to consume Ren, but Kazuma arrives at the last moment and manages to save him. Shortly after, the possessed guy arrives after defeating Ayano and starts to absorb the evil god's power, becoming the god himself. The Fuga clan asks their god to start the revenge plan by killing Ren and Kazuma. but the evil god kills the clan and rushes to find the one who sealed him. The brothers reunite with Ayano and chase the evil god before it starts destroying everything on its path. They manage to force it into a confrontation, but they can only defeat it with the family fire sword. But their problem is that Ayano is the current wielder, and she's too weak. Kazuma tries to give her some backup, but the evil god still overpowers her. Without many options, Kazuma creates a wind path to protect her while she tries to slay the deity. While she runs toward the evil god, Kazuma uses his Wind Spirit King power to suppress the deity, and allow her to stab its neck and destroy it. They return to the family to celebrate Ren's rescue, where Kazuma meets Misao. She acts kind and respectful toward him, but she blames Kazuma for her brother's death and tries to stab him from behind. Her brother was one of the two guys who tried to capture Kazuma when he returned to Japan. Kazuma just says that her brother was simply too weak. Then, the Kannagi clan requests Kazuma with a strange case. For the past few days, dozens of citizens in their 20s have been killed. Their vitality seems to have been absorbed, making the corpses look like mummies. While flying in the city, Kazuma feels an evil spirit energy coming from a nearby park. There he sees Misao sitting on the bench with some evil energy surrounding her body. She reveals to be dead serious when it comes to getting her revenge, and won't stop after Kazuma is dead. It doesn't matter if she must kill hundreds of people to absorb their power. Ayano arrives at the place after sensing the evil aura Misao has been releasing and pulls out her sword to kill her. Yet, Kazuma stops her from attacking, enabling Misao to vanish away. Ayano reports to the family, who have decided to let Misao's father and closer relatives handle the situation. However, she simply kills them when they try to confront her. Kazuma appears and doesn't understand why she killed her relatives, including her father. Her story is pretty similar to Kazuma's. Her power wasn't the strongest, so she got bullied by all her relatives and even her father. The only person who really cared for her was her older brother, who died because of Kazuma. She mixes her fire magic with the evil spirits and tries to burn him to a crisp, but her attacks are all blocked by the wind. She doesn't understand, as her angel assured her that she was able to kill Kazuma with her current power. Suddenly, the so-called angel appears behind her. It's a random kid named Michael, who's been using her. He manipulated her emotions and brainwashed her to kill hundreds of people and absorb their energy. All of this so he could absorb that same power from her body and use it to kill Kazuma, who doesn't understand why. Michael's master is the same guy who sacrificed Sui Ling and was later killed by Kazuma. Misao's mind starts to break apart, realizing that she was taken advantage of to kill innocent people and even her family. She falls unconscious, and Michael starts absorbing her power. Kazuma tries to stop him, but Michael blocks it. He then turns Misao into a supreme dragon using the energy from the souls she collected. Ayano decides to be reckless and engage directly, forcing Kazuma to jump in and save her from its attacks. He asks her to buy him some time, so he can gather enough power to defeat it. She distracts the dragon for a while, giving Kazuma enough power to transfer it to her flame sword. The flame quickly changes color to blue, and she uses it to burn the dragon in half along with Michael. They manage to save Misao, who filled with regret, desires Kazuma to kill her. But Kazuma believes that she should repent for her sins. Accepting his words of kindness, she decides to live as a nun praying for forgiveness. Yet, she still doesn't understand why he decided to spare his life. Kazuma was only repaying her kindness for being the one who tried to protect him from bullies when they were kids. When Kazuma is walking home, he sees something he cannot explain. He sees a girl that looks like Sui Ling, his dead lover. He goes to Kannagi Mansion to try to get some information of what happened. Their Takabana explains that there is a game called Pandemonium, where players are obtaining the in-game magic powers in real life. That because people are downloading evil spirits when they log in for the first time to the game. But Kazuma barely listens to a thing. His mind only keeps spinning to the moment he saw a girl looking like Sui Ling. He gets up to leave and investigate, but Ayano runs after him after receiving a call that Ren disappeared. Ayano, Kazuma, and Takabana get to the location and Kazuma realizes there's a spell hiding the building. He uses his wind magic to check it out further. He manages to break the seal and enters, followed by the girls. Inside Pandemonium, Kazuma finds himself in a room maze, walking in circles. The girls are confronted by the girl he saw earlier, who introduces herself as Lapis. Ren is still trapped inside the building and meets Versailles, the leader of Pandemonium. He shows Ren images of Ayano and Kazuma who are struggling to find him, while also revealing that he planned everything to kill Kazuma. In the meantime, Kazuma feels Versailles' magic and asks Ren to call out to him. He hears Ren and cuts through the illusion to enter the space. He immediately recognizes Versailles as Bernhardt, who pretty much like Michael is here to get revenge for killing his master. Suddenly, an explosion from Ayano's fight occurs in one of the walls, and Kazuma sees Lapis once again, leaving him confused and stuck in place. Ayano charges at Lapis to finish her off, but Kazuma stops her. Bernhardt tells him that he created Lapis using Sui Ling's last memories. Enraged, Kazuma tries to attack him but Lapis blocks the attack. Bernhardt orders Lapis to use her powers to destroy everything, and the two vanish away. Everyone returns to the Kannagi mansion to report what happened, except for Kazuma, who disappears to be alone. He's having a hard time dealing with his feelings, remembering every moment he spent with Sui Ling, who now became a mere puppet. He remembers his promise that he would always protect her, but he failed. His feelings of grief and anger start to overtake his mind, changing his personality to someone who vows to do everything to kill Bernhardt and Lapis. He goes berserk, killing several Pandemonium players just to extort information about the new location. But everyone dies to his power without revealing anything new. Since they weren't useful, he decides to attack the people protecting one of Ayano's friends. One of the players has a weird obsession with her, and Kazuma wants to take advantage of that weirdo who will surely take her away to find the new location. His plan works out, as the obsessed guy mind-controlled the girl, and went back to Bernhardt's location. Kazuma followed him from the sky and is prepared to get his revenge. After finding out about his plan, Ayano and the rest decide to stop Kazuma and force him to return to his normal self. But upon getting to the location, they see a huge fight going around between the Pandemonium players. Suddenly, the clock strikes midnight, and a huge building appears. Ayano and Ren see the defeated players turn into monsters and rush forward to find Kazuma. When they reach the front of the building, they see a berserk Kazuma killing every monster in front of him. They try to talk to him, but he doesn't listen to them. He's determined to kill Bernhardt. Determined to return Kazuma back to normal, Ayano stands forward to fight him. She fears this heartless and cold side of him, but she gives it her all while telling him about how he taught her to never give up. Kazuma doesn't understand why she cares about him. Ayano uses her anger to summon the Crimson Flames to get Kazuma back no matter what. She mentions that he once said that he got power to protect everyone he cares about. These words make him remember his promise to Tsui Ling, and he finally calms down. He realizes the truth in her words, but she strikes at him at the last moment, stopping him at last. He gets up and they see the Pandemonium gathering the evil spirit beasts. The three of them hurry there to stop Bernhardt before he goes too far. They enter and make their way through, and meet Ayano's friends, along with Lapis and the obsessed guy. Lapis tells them that Bernhardt has left the country, and his true goal is to use the players' souls to summon Belial, a powerful demon. She then picks up her sword and kills the stalker, initiating the summoning process. Ayano tries to talk Lapis out of this madness, but she reveals that she was born out of her last wish, to kill Kazuma, and that she must complete her mission to finally become human instead of a puppet. Kazuma walks up to stop her, but he's stopped when Lapis asks if he's going to kill her again. Hearing those words from Tsui's voice freezes him in place. Ayano charges Lapis, but Lapis uses her mind-controlled friends as shields. But Kazuma manages to compose himself and uses a precise wind blade to push Lapis back and save the girls. The summoning ceremony finally finishes, and Kazuma takes everyone out of the building before it collapses. He tells them he doesn't have the power to defeat Belial, but if they all work together and go at it in one blow with all their might, maybe then they can do something. Kazuma taps into his Wind Spirit King powers to ensure a safe future for everyone. Together with all their power, they charge at the demon as it materializes and succeeds.